Hey, you there. Thank you for watching. And welcome to Fortnite Forever. Today I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing no access map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the north and ending with Team 2 in the south. Starting off with Team 1's eastern player, we have in Stitch Blue. He is aptly named Blue Shirt Guy. Playing as a Cybern, he is a 1000 rated. To his southwest, we have in Tropical Ocean Blue. It is Everywhere 116. He is an Aeon. He is also a 1000 rated. To his northwest, in Ruby Red, it is Tesla Max. Playing as an Aeon, he is a 1500. To his west, we have the Rust player of Nomander. He's playing as a UEF. He's at 2500. He's the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall by a huge margin, almost 1,000 points more than anybody else in this game. So a huge high value target for Team 2 to take out and for Team 1 to protect. In the West, we have in Regal Purple, it is Dead 6 playing as a Cybern. He is a 1500. And rounding out Team 1's lineup, we have in the Golden Dark Green is Bamba and Tequila. Definitely an interesting mix there. He is, again, a Cybern as a 1000 rating. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 2 Aeons, 3 Cyberns, 1 UEF, no Seraphim Tech for Team 1. Starting off with Team 2, Southwestern player, we have in Orange Color Orange, it is Leverage. I'm assuming that's how you say that name. He is an Aeon. He is an 1100. To his northeast in Forest Green, Best Color in Super Commandedom, no biases here. Of course, he is Sturdy playing as a Cybern as a 1300. In Light Oak Tan to his east, we have SA playing as a UEF. He is a 1500. In Snow White to his east, we have Buttons playing as a UEF as well. He is a 1600. In Royal Blue to his southeast, we have Death by Succubus. Definitely an interesting way to go out. He is a Cybern. He is a 1600. He's actually tied with Buttons, his next door neighbor, for highest rated player on his team. I forgot to mention that about Buttons. Apologies there. And to the north, we have Jam Maker. He is a Seraphim, the one and only Seraphim of the game. He is a 1400. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have, again, the one and only Seraphim of the game, plus 2 UEF, plus 2 Cyberns, plus 1 Aeon, totaling 6 players. All technology in terms of factions are represented on Team 2 side of the map. Team 1 is only lacking the Seraphim tech. And for these 12 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 14,000 mass and reclaim, almost 15,000. So it's a little over 1,000 mass per player. There are a decent clumpage of reclaims to grab on the eastern and western side. There's also a nice little 600s kind of dotted in the middle as well, with some mass for the other northwest and southeastern corner players to grab as well. Not as much as their compatriots or in the middle, but hey, it's something nonetheless. And for the mechs locations, there's honestly not that many mexes on the map. We have a quad mix position in front of the middle here for both Team 1 and Team 2 to grab, as well as a couple of mexes dotted along the middle. We have some on the lower sections of the map and most of them on the upper plateau or the main level section of the map. And of course, there are dotted mexes in the main base areas as well, but there's not a lot of mexes on the map in general, which means it's going to be fighting for every single mex on the map, as well as, of course, getting as much artificial eco online as possible, the SACUs, the RAS, the mass fabs, all of those upgrades sooner rather than later. Taking a look at where players are headed off to in this game, we have 1v1 in the west so far between Team 1's Bamba and Team 2's Suri. In the east, looks like it's going to be a maybe 2v2 between Death by Succubus and the column of Gem Maker, going for an upgrade as we speak, versus Team 1's Blue Shirt Guy and Everywhere. And then in the middle, looks like it's also a 2v2 between Buttons and SA of Team 2 and Tesla Max and Nomander of Team 1. Gun started in the west for Suri as well. We haven't seen movement from the southwest and northwestern players as of yet for Dead 6 and for Leverage, but I would not be surprised if they're the ones going for air facilities right now. Kind of surprised that Team 1's player, Blue Shirt Guy, is pushed to the middle as well. But again, he's just trying to probably help out on the eastern side as much. And I'm also kind of surprised that Dead 6 hasn't made a move for the middle as well. But he could be, again, trying to go for eco as well. He could be going for air facility. We could have 2 air players for each team, being the corner players for each of the teams. But we'll see where they decide to go in terms of tech as we progress. We do see Team 1s everywhere trying to get as much eco online as possible. Actually trying to grab a couple of mexes from Team 2 side of the map. We do see Jamaica is almost done with his gun upgrade. He'll blap away those Team 1 mexes here shortly. And then on the western side, the gun upgrade for Suri is done. So he'll be slowly being able to push in on that western side soon. I want to shout out to each and every single one of you for helping to make the yesterday's video really, really, really great in terms of viewership and rating. Not ratings, but I guess ratings would actually be the word for it. But the metrics and whatnot, they did very well on that video. So thank you so much. It is a 4v4 custom match on Settings. If you haven't seen it already, very good game. A little bit of salt drizzled in there as well. So if you enjoy conversations in chat, you'll definitely enjoy that one. And it's just a good match overall. So take a look at that after this match, because why not? Why not watch a back-to-back FAF cast? In the west, we have Convicom action between the Cybrans of Bamba and Suri. T2 gunship already ran for Team 1's Nomanders. He's gone for air, it looks like. So maybe possibly 3 air players if the corner players are the ones that decide to go for air as well. And Suri will be forced back. Interceptors are inbound from Team 2 to deal with the gunship. Those look like a little bit of interceptor wars we'll be fighting. Team 1 might have the first kill on the books here. Suri's still taking some damage. Janus over the top as well. Nomad is going full send it mode in this game, just trying to wipe out a player on the western side immediately. And the combo Suri not doing too great, but is still staying at about the rough, above the 50% mark, at least at a minimum, which is where you want to sit. We do see Buttons trying to help out with some interceptors from his repertoire, and we do see some interceptors now inbound from Dead 6, who also has T2 air online. So yeah, 2 air players so far confirmed for Team 1. We'll see if they go for T3 tech, but again, going this early into air tech, you might as well go for T3 and call it a day. Gun range started for Tesla-Max in the east. We have not Dead 6, but Jamma dealing with the Mex location on the eastern side, with Death by Succubus covering for him in the middle. Nomander in the middle of the map with some support nearby, but nothing too critical. Definitely something to watch out for as the game progresses. Him staying out there all on his lonesome, probably not the best idea, considering he is going to be, again, the high-value target for Team 1 to protect and for Team 2 to eliminate. Because, again, once he is eliminated of the game, the highest-rated players in the game are both Death by Succubus and Buttons at 1,600 rating. So it's a huge jump in rating if he is eliminated. He does have a nice little Janus hovering over top just in case something crazy happens, but Nano started now on board. So just come, he got the stealth upgrade done very quickly. That's of course assisted by the Mantis that he spammed up for assistance, and he's getting those upgrades done very quickly, making sure he gets it back up to full HP so he can fight and push back Team 1 on the western side. Bamber now at back up to 100% hit points. T2 air done for western player of Leverage. T2 air done for eastern player of Death by Succubus. So 2 air players back to back. Looks like some Janus over top going after some bombing runs for those Team 1, maybe T2 mexes mixed in there. Looks like they actually went after Buttons' position. Killed off a couple of Pigeons and a couple of those mexes as well. Looks like the Janus might get one more pass in before they are killed off. Interceptors waiting to be given orders. Looks like it'll be enough. Janus actually at 3-star vet, so done well for itself in that regard. We have some units inbound from Tesla-Max behind the comms from Team 2 on the eastern side, so not great in terms of bleeding in the middle of the map. Advanced range almost done. Probably going to go for speed or go for the sensor package upgrade, and he is going to go for speed so he can be an Aeon Sniper Menace in the middle of the map. And that Janus is, I'm assuming, already shot down. I don't think it made it home. No, looks like that's just a new batch of them, but they're still running around the middle of the map. Nomander's just being super just send it, just do as much damage as he can. In terms of ecos, Team 1 is winning by about 25, 30 or so mass. It's starting to get almost close to 40s. So Team 1 is starting to pull away, and again, that's partly driven by the fact that they've again sniped a couple of mexes from Team 2. but also they're just trying to keep as much of the middle under lock and key for now. We do see 1, 2, 3, 4 T2 air facilities online for Team 1 out of the 6 players in the game. That is insane to have that many players in air. I mean, 1, 2, definitely makes sense. T3 air is actually done for Dead 6. T3 air is on the way here for Leverage, and T2 air is almost done for Death by Succubus. But still, having 4 air players, granted, maybe we'll see T3 air out of 1 or 2 more of them. Maybe, maybe not, but at least going for it at a minimum shows the dedication that Team 1's effort, excuse me, to go for air. Run by, probably will get stopped here. Actually, we'll get that Bamba moving in with this combo, but we do see that Surdy with the gun, and now Nano on board will push in on this western side, and it looks like it's not going to be a good day for Team 1's Bambas, at least as for his forces. And again, with Nano online, he has 1-star vet. He's pushing. Oh, does have to watch out for himself there. He can get overwhelmed quite quickly, especially with Team 1's Janus running around. Surdy dropping almost into the yellow. He's almost at 2-star vet there. He's going after the Rhino to secure that 2-star vet, or at least almost get to it. And there it is. 2-star vet is online, and he's staying in the about mid-ish yellows for now. He does have some Mantis inbound to assist. Eastern front, we have some Convicom action as well. Tesla Max and Buttons, Jamaica, and Death by Succubus. 3v1 advantage for Team 2 in that regard. So he does dropping into about 50%, but his inbound units do help stave off Death. Janus over the top will land some fire nearby. We have now everywhere 116 moving in, and Jamaica's going to full send it into that comm. We have Buttons retreating. He'll probably go for Nano after this, and Death by Succubus maybe will go for Stealth and Nano as well. We do have 3 commanders from Team 1 also on this eastern side now. It looks like Nomander is falling back. Looks like he's actually pushing westward to assist the western front. And this game might shift to just 2 lanes, being east and west. We did see a possible, of course, third in the middle, but looks like a lot of the focus is going on the west and east, so the middle is just going to be abandoned. There's not going to be a lot in the middle to fight over anyways, so not necessarily that it's no man's land, it's just no one wants it. So it's free real estate, but no one wants it. Stealth has been started on Death by Succubus. Buttons assisting with that. Again, it's probably going to go for Nano after that. Nano repair is done for SA. Speaking of which, he's in the middle. We do see gun started for Dead 6 on the western side. And Sudi continuing to bombard. Bamba's comment is gun, Nano, and 2-star vet versus no gun, no Nano, no vet for Bamba. So definitely heavily in favor for Team 2. That's 6,000 hit points more just based on the, again, the total hit points currently, but also, you know, the gun firing twice as fast, the regen at almost 100 versus 18. So that would be an easy fight for Team 2 to win, but it looks like he's just going to hold off for now. Nomander's moving in with no gun, no Nano, no nothing on board, so he also, again, has to be careful. Units down the middle from SA, it looks like Team 1's going to have to rethink their strategy for the middle of the map, because Team 2 is not giving up on it just yet. ASF wipes out the Janus before it does a lot of damage to those units from SA. It's just kind of wiping out all the other Team 1 interceptors flying around. They bingo on fuel. Oh, some of them almost are, but again, interceptors in an ASF engagement like that doesn't really work out. Units moving into the east. It's not Ghetto Gunship, but I don't know where they're going. It looks like they're dropping forces off to intercept the Ilshi that's moving in. That's probably what they're... Actually, no, they're going to move in and drop behind this little wall section. We'll see if Team 2 sees that in time and counters it. Middle of the map, we still have those pillars running amok. Team 1 moving in to intercept the supply lines. There are a couple of parashields mixed in there. Team 2 definitely wants to keep those protected, to protect those pillars, to protect the protectors, if that makes any sense. But Nano and Gun is inbound from SA, and that group of Team 1 units is not going to go very well. Again, the tinfoil Auroras, so one shot from the UEF commander is enough to wipe it out with the gun upgrade. So doing very, very well wiping out those additional forces. But it does allow Team 1 to bring in some more tanks and T2 varieties now. Those Obsidians, they are annoying to deal with just because of their additional shields on board. Sudi being bombarded by Corsairs now. So he's been lit on fire. He's been hit by missiles. He's been surrounded. He's just been not having a good day today. He's, you know, fallen not into the reds, but he's been in the mid-yellows for a while. He's not having a good time with it. He's kind of been the focus from Team 1 on this western front. And he's not looking too hot. He's almost on 4-star vet. He does have a couple of Team 1 AA units nearby. Needs to get some flak cannons in there, some T2s. And he is falling back. It will save the front line, though. Team 1 Bamba is going for gun now. Dead 6 assisting. He has gun and nano also as well. On board, Nomanda going for T2 in the middle. T2 started for both Buttons and for Jamaica. So Buttons will get some more hit points. So he's not regenning his old ones. He's just getting more of them. Which is almost the same thing. Not the same thing, but almost the same thing. And he's now back up to 10,000 hit points of the, what is he at, 13.2k? And T3 Air Force is online in the west and in the east. And in the middle, Buttons going for T3 Air. So we have 3 air players for Team 2. Team 1, we have 2.5. If you, oh, no, it will be 3. And it will be 7 air players in this. Very much looks like a land game. So that's a new one. Usually, again, 1, maybe 2, maybe a third one if it's later in the game. Not before 20 minutes having 7 air players. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. We do see Death by Succubus pushing in, and everywhere. I want to say everywhere, everything, everywhere, all at once. Whenever I see everywhere for some reason. Buttons going for, again, he's almost done with that T2 upgrade. Gun started here for Nomanda. He has T2 on board, and now Sode facing off against soon to be 2 gun comms. Not looking too hot over here. He's at 4-star vet. He's trying to kill off those rhinos as quickly as possible. He's dropping into the yellow once again. Needs to get that overcharge to wipe out a couple of those rhinos. We do see some of those Sky Slammers can target ground units. Not effectively, but hey, some damage is better than none, of course. And he's dropping pretty quickly. Not looking too hot. We have Dead 6, again, right behind him. And he might be the first casualty of the game. He overextended. He got, I think, a little bit too confident with his survivability capabilities. And there he goes. Team 1 will score the first kill of the game at 18, almost 19 minutes. And that western side is looking just a little bit weaker. Looks like it immediately goes over the Death by Succubus. Probably will be transferred over to Leverage or even SA. And there, actually, no, it gets transferred over to Buttons. And I feel like Buttons should maybe transfer that over to SA just because he's microing forces, at least on the front lines in terms of land. But we will see what he ends up doing with it in terms of Buttons giving it over to whoever he thinks needs it or wants it or whatever. Again, 6v5 in favor for Team 1 before 20 minutes. Almost everybody made it past 20, but not every game can have that. Restore dealing with the TMD, and that Restore just gets absolutely annihilated by the ASFs from Blue Shirt Guy. ASFs from the other blue player in the game, that being Death by Succubus, moving to intercept. Going to be a nice engagement for him. And there goes one of them. Looks like pulling them away. Will Team 1 group up? No. The other ASFs for Team 1 over here on the western side. I do like the placement of the AA down here just to, take advantage of this lower section. If there's any artillery on Team 2 side of the map for going after those, it's not going to be that great. But in terms of just being out of the normal plane of existence, definitely good placement there nonetheless. Western side looking very, very quiet. Team 1 taking advantage of the death of Suri, and now we see that Buttons has gained control of Suri's old base. So, and not Buttons, but he's given it over to SA, which again makes more sense because he's the essentially de facto land player for the middle of the map. And it's a little bit more quiet just due to the fact that, again, we have 4 air players on Team 1. So not a lot of land units running around. So if Team 2 could capitalize on that, we could see a one-sided battle. But we'll see if that actually happens or not. I highly doubt it, but we will see. Eastern side, we have Blue Shirt Guy being shot at by a couple of Thams and a couple of Ilshis as well. Those units that walk backwards. And Team 1 puts some reinforcements in front of him and kind of calls it a day for that front. T3 land units are online again. We see some Titans. Are there any There's one Percy in there, so again, someone to watch out for the comms for Team 1. Those things can do lots of damage very, very quickly. Especially with that many Titans, that actually might be enough to kill off a comm or two. So definitely someone that Team 1 needs to worry about. Again, the land unit count is going to be severely diminished in terms of the units running around when you have 4 air players. Essentially, it's Bamba for Team 1 on the western side, pumping out land, and then on the eastern side, it's everywhere. We do see some land units outbound from Tesla Max, but he has T1. Oh, he has actually has T3 land, excuse me. So he has T3 land and T3 air. So we'll see if his split focus on land and air will be helpful. It doesn't look like he's producing that many ASFs. And he is Aeon, so I don't see those Geminis. And yeah, I don't see a lot of Aeon tech in the air, or even UEF tech besides the Continental Transport. So we will see if those middle air players actually produce air or not. We do see Shield Field start online here for Nomander. Not my favorite upgrade at all in terms of UEF tech. The SACU one, the Bubble Shield, that thing's insane. There's like 50-something thousand hit points. It's insane, the shielding on board that thing. But for the comm, I think it's 5,000, which, again, it's cheaper than the shield, to be fair, and it helps with a little bit more land pushing. But I'm just not a fan. It's like a parashield, but not. It's a little bit better than that. I'm just not a fan of it at all. But if you're trying to shield the other land units from Team 1, that is, again, what you would use most definitely. And we have units inbound from the middle for Team 1 Tesla Max. There's nothing really from Team 2 to stop this. There is the Calm of Death by Succubus. SA is actually falling back. Looks like he's going to hide in the water. Gunships inbound from Team 2. They are the Whalers. So, again, the middle ground in terms of air-to-ground weaponry. Death by Succubus should be fine. There's a couple of Harbingers, but, again, there are a couple of Whalers inbound. So, realistically, yes, there's going to be a mech or 2 dead, but in terms of what could have been killed off on the possible death, not really anything too crazy for Team 2 to worry about. And it gets him some reclaim in terms of units, so there's something. Looks like the Force went and sniped the T3 mechs and went, that's good enough, and then went home. Again, that is 27 mass a second Team 2 is losing out on, and with the limited amount of mechs on the map, every bit of mass income, whether it's reclaim or otherwise, or standard generated, definitely going to make a difference. Team 1 at about 1,000, Team 2 about 900, so Team 2 was probably at like 930, 940 before the death of that mechs. We have that group of forces just not engaging as of yet. And there's 3 players for Team 1 on the western side. It's Gun Shield, Gun Bubble Shield, and T2, Gun and Gun Nano, with a couple of Loyalists mixed in there. Maybe we'll see TAC missile from somebody in the game. Maybe from SA. Who knows? There's not that many UEF players in the game, but there is enough to maybe assume somebody will go for at least the standard TAC missile at a minimum. We have the Whalers running around on the eastern front, just trying to wipe out some of the frontline defenses and roaming engineers and whatnot. Team 1 and Team 2 being very, very cagey about a whole lot of stuff. But that land force is moving in. Speaking of which, I just have to jinx myself. SACU online. They are Rambos. Second one coming online as well in terms of Tesla Max, dropping them off on the front line a lot quicker than just walking them over. We do see Titans are engaging the Loyalists. And too great for Team 1. Again, the EMP weapons are not helping. But I don't believe the EMP weapons work until the shielding is down on the Titan, if I'm not mistaken. But it does look like with the amount of PD and Nomander and Bamba here, it might be enough. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be enough to drive Team 2 away for now. If Team 2's SA is going to go for Fat Boy or something, that's not going to be enough. SACU from Team 1's Nomander dropped off, I don't know where, but looks like it's going after SA's secondary base. Restore is online. And not going to be super helpful. Looks like they're producing a crab over here. That's going to be stopped right now. And the shield is still not depleted yet. Going to be a little bit more annoying to deal with. There's I thought there was another one. There's just the other ones are over here to the north from Tesla Max. EMP weapons on board. Are they going to be EMP? No, they're just AoE. Looks like EMP though. Western side. Looks like an attack is inbound. We have Titans in the just huge encirclement maneuver by Team 2. We have Percy's inbound. That's the main target, or main force that's inbound. Titans are just trying to slow the retreat of somebody. Bamba is going to receive death here, some revenge for Team 2. And those, yeah, no. Good luck. Maybe the Percy's going to ignore him. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, not looking too hot, though. You could easily be one-tapped here. Looks like the target is going to be Nomander. I did say that that's what Team 2 would go after. The shield is down for Nomander. And here comes more Whalers. And Jamaica is wiped out. And now we have Team 1's calm there. And we have Team 1's calm there for Nomander is dead. And there it is. Double kill on the western side for Team 2. And a death on the eastern side as well. It is a tied-up game at 4v4. The Percys are essentially wiped out, but hey, the death of 2 players for Team 1, especially the highest-rated player on Team 1 being Nomander, ending the game. Huge win for Team 2. They do lose a player on the eastern side, though, so it is 4v4, and they are dealing with the aftermath of that death. We have Restorers and Whalers inbound to assist. There's still some AA in the area, slowly wiping out the remaining gunships. We have T2PD being built to halt this inbound aggression. So that is not going to be fun for Team 2 to deal with. We do have an Optim there, so that's going to help out a tiny smidgen more. The engineers are going to be targeted, so no more T2PD is going to be built in the interim. There's still a couple of SACU ramp-up presets running around. Did they ever deal with that? Looks like they dealt with that other one. But they halted the construction of the Crab. And I don't think this amount of PD is going to be enough to stop these SACUs for at least like a little bit of time. There's now new gunships online. There's that huge batch of Redeemers. I always want to say Restorers for those Redeemers inbound from the north. We still have both Buttons and Death by Succubus now isolating inbound forces from Team 1, essentially saying, no, you can't come this way no more. But there's still 3 SACUs, and now Tessa Max Control Ks. Is there any conversation about that in terms of why he's leaving? Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea why he's leaving, but there's just conversations about the focus on Nomander, though. So Team 1 loses another player at 28 minutes. And it's now an official 4v3 in favor for Team 2. The SACU stopped for a brief moment, so that might help Team 2 out a smidgen. But, yeah, it's just a lot of hit points to chew through. We have, of course, the remaining Redeemers moving in to assist. And now air stocks are starting to produce some dividends for Team 1, at least for Dead 6. He's sitting on 3 bases, Blue Shirt's on 2. And Everywhere is on 1, SA's on 2 bases, and Buttons is on 1.5. Because the Seraphim facility is not looking too good. And Buttons is taking some damage from those SACUs. He has to be careful because he will die here if he is not careful enough. He does have Nano and Gun on board. He probably wants that 4th star veterancy. But he's losing hit points here. Not looking good. We have more gunships inbound, but still more Redeemers, just essentially blocking the AA for Team, blocking the air units for Team 2. And we do have now Death by Succubus swapping in. SACU is down. There's 2 more remaining. This is a long, drawn-out battle for Team 2 to deal with. They want to definitely protect the air facilities for Team 2's Death by Succubus. At least he wants to protect his because he's right there and they're right there and the gunships are right there and all that. And not looking too hot. T3 land headquarters is the target. Looks like it's going to be the last remaining thing for Seraphim Tech. They won't lose out on it just yet because there is this facility right here, but not looking too good for Seraphim Tech at all. Gunship's going to wipe out going to be wiped out by the ASFs from Team 1's Blue Shirt guy. Now Ravagers being built to prevent any sort of incursions, but yeah, not looking too hot nonetheless. PD emplacements is still online. Transport's going to be wiped out, and they need to drop. 3 of the 5 Percys dropped. There were reinforcements from SA to assist with just dealing with all of this. Look at the damage, though. The entire eastern front is just not looking good. We will see if that is going to be enough to allow Team 1 to come back, especially with the deficit in players. Looks like there's some power outages for Team 1's blue shirt guy. The shields are not even online or even registered. Oh, there it goes. It will not be enough to regen the shield in time, however. But the SSU was essentially on its last leg regardless, but you know, at a bare minimum, it would have lasted a couple more moments. Maybe it would have killed off a T3 mechs, maybe. Raz started here on board. Leverages come in the west. The crab has been under construction for a while, unless that's the second crab. Nope, that is still the first crab. Blue shirt guy finishes an experimental. It is a GC to the north. No experimentals yet for Team 1 on the western front. Again, oh, nope, never mind. There is a crab, and it's almost done, so it's going to finish Team 2's essays. We have another SSU just hanging out in the middle of the map here for Team 1. We do have more on the front line, producing more and more defenses. Tons of Percys and Titans moving around the middle of the map here for SA. And there's that crab being finished off. 32 minutes almost on the clock. Team 1 at 3 players left. They lost Bamba, Nomander, and Tesla. Nomander definitely the big target for Team 2 to wipe out. Jamaica and Sudi were wiped out earlier as well. So it is a 3v4 in favor for Team 2. A little over half the players remain. In terms of ecos, Team 1 is winning 1.3k to 1.2. Again, partly driven by the heavy attack on the eastern front. And map control in Team 2's favor, but again, there's a lot of just no man's land in the middle of the map. So, again, there isn't any water in this game. I'd say it's fluid. Actually, no, there is a little bit of water, so it's fluid. But in terms of map control generally, but for the most part, it's just Team 1 has their side, Team 2 has their side, and they're just going to stick to what they are used to, I guess, and not venturing into the middle with essentially nothing to show for it. Titans pushing in. More of the Titans on the eastern front moving in to reinforce the columns of Percys, and a couple of bricks added in as well. No AA, which is not going to be good for Team 2's land forces, but hey, there's a tiny bit of AA, but that's Team 1 AA. At a minimum, though, they're probably going to wipe out that Colossus that was just built recently. Blue shirt guy finishes another one, and he's on his way to a third one. He will not live to see the 3 Stooges online because those Percys are going to wipe out everything. And we do see ASF being told, hey, get up. There's land units right here. Titans moving in. Looks like the Percys are targeting all the mexes, all of the other land facilities, units from the east, from everywhere coming in to assist. And yeah, the focus is on the mexes. It's not on the experimentals. And even if they kill the experimental, Team 1's going to scoop it up anyways. I think that's maybe their fit-off process for that. There's still enough here. There's a couple more inbound still. Airfight is going to maybe happen. Nope, there's just a couple of ASFs for Team 2. The GC will be wiped out. That looks like the remainder of Team 1's forces from everywhere will be probably enough to deal with this, especially with the gunships from Dead 6. Dead 6, speaking of which, has another Megalith online. Going for cloaking, which means, I was going to say, he usually already has the laser, or somebody usually has a laser before they go for cloaking, and they do. And again, very good defensive weapon, not necessarily good offensively. We have a Megalith inbound with a lot of assisting loyalists and some bricks. Actually, a lot more loyalists than bricks. Usually it's the other way around. I do love to see the... Oh, there's a nuke. Oh, and it's in Nomander's base. Yep. I don't know if he built it before he died or after or whatever, but... Ooh, that's going to hurt. SMD. Oh, it's going to be close. Going to load that thing. Leverage is on an ARAS upgrade. He doesn't want to move. Oh, he's going to be... Actually... What? Oh, that's the second nuke is going to go there. The first nuke's actually inbound to the east. There's no SMD. Oh, no, there is an SMD. Apologies. Oh, and it's loaded, but it's going further eastward. It's going for this air grid. Ooh, there's no SMD there. It looks like it's going to be built right there, but it's not going to be built in time. First nuke of the game, but it is shot down by that SMD right there. Ooh, the caster just does not notice SMDs apparently, even if he has different icons for them. And they have little, white borders and whatnot. But Team 2 maybe saw the nuke earlier, and that's what they built all the SMDs. They have it pinged already, so probably. because it's but at this point you should have SMDs anyways. Gunship's wiping out that crab. That's not going to be good. Team 2 needs some mobile AA online immediately. And this is where the air power is going to shine for Team 1. You know, they have 4 T3 air headquarters and 4 of the 6 main bases. So it makes it a lot more prevalent of air power for Team 1. That's why the Nuke is going for the air grid, just to wipe out Team 2's ability to fight back in air. But this is the problem. Look at this. The Whalers just coming in and wiping out a whole bunch of weaponry on the land side of things. And there is the death of the land forces on the western side for Team 2. We have more Percy's inbound, but the Megalith is online. It's getting a twin here shortly. It's going to get a third one here right now. Nuke pointed out by Nomander. It is done. It's not loaded yet, but the Nuke is done being constructed. Team 1, do you have adequate? Yes, no, and yes. So that Nuke is vulnerable. SMD being built right now, but if I was a betting man, that Nuke is going to nuke the Nuke, and that Nuke's not going to be happy about being nuked by a Nuke from Team 2. And yes, I did say Nuke so many times in a row, and yes, I think it made sense. Whalers are inbound. T3 AA needs to be spammed up immediately. We do see some T3 SAM sites as well. Some T1 AA mixed in there. That's something. And here comes the ASFs being wiped out by the Whalers, and Team 1's going to wipe out the remaining of them. And there was a Restorer added in there. SMD is probably going to be a target. At least that should be the target of the AA from Team 1, and then they can wipe out it with a Nuke. Here comes the ASS from Team 2, however. They're being... Actually, yeah, those are from Team 2. Yeah, they're from Death by Succubus. And not great engagement for Team 1. Looks like the ASS were kind of static for a little bit of time. SMD still is vulnerable. P-Gen does wipe out the SMD, so that is something. And there goes the remaining ASFs and Whalers from Team 1's dead 6. That's a lot of dead ASFs. I think Team 2 just wrestled air control away from Team 1. 100 plus, let's say 125 ASFs for Team 2. And explosion somewhere. Hopefully that's not a comm. It's not a comm. 100 ASFs for Blue Shirt Guy. There's more on the way here for dead 6. So it looks like it's about even now between Team 2 and Team 1, where it was definitely in favor. Another explosion happens. What is up with the SACs blown up? Looks like there's 2 monkeys, 2 GCs. And another GC inbound. Nuke does have an SMD partner, but doesn't have a loaded Nuke. Team 2's buttons. How's your Nuke going? It is almost loaded. I'm assuming you're going to fire it immediately. At least that's what you would assume. SMD should be rebuilt immediately as well, which it is. It won't be loaded in time, so that air grid might be killed off unless this SMD is protected and loads. Monkey Lord inbound. Going to kill off all the... I was going to target the bricks. It looks like it's going after the crab now. Still not a lot of adequate defenses on the land side of things for Team 2. Whalers are inbound, but it's not that many Whalers. Anyway, Strap Bomber's running amok. Team 1's dead 6 might be the target if he's been spotted, but no. Actually, those are from Blue Shirt. This is why you can't have 2 air players the same color on different teams. It confuses me. But Blue Shirt Guy has some Strap Bombers running around. Do not tell me that's what the... Okay, no. Buttons has some ASFs of his own online. Monkey Lord almost done right here. We have few ASFs, says Nomander. Well, you don't have a few. It's just you don't have as many as you once had. The base for the western side for SA is gone. And that SMD is not going to load in time. Nuke is almost loaded. Team 1's about to fire it. I would assume not SMD, but Nuke is loaded. Will you fire it immediately? There's a clear vector for that Nuke for Team 1. If you launch it now, you might stop the Nuke from launching, but I don't think they will. Another explosion on the eastern side. We have 4 experimentals. Tons of Ravagers were built in the lieu of the annoyance that was earlier. Team 2 does not launch nukes. Team 1 does. And where does it go is the question. Does it go for the air grid to the west? And one of the crabs is dead. The second crab is about to die. The monkey does get finished off. The Nuke does go for the western base. Leverage has to move, which he is. SMB's not going to load in time. So at a bare minimum, that attack from earlier from Dead 6, even though it wasn't super successful with the air facilities, at least It wipes out an air grid in the aftermath. Both the monkeys are dead. We have gunships inbound from now both Buttons and Death by Succubus. First nuke of the game is landing. And it will kill off the entire base. Kaboom! Realistically, Leverage didn't really have a huge air grid. But, you know, he did have something online. And it looks like the ASF for Team 1 are fleeing. The GC is going to try to make it to the air grid for Team 2. 10,000 hit points and nope, that's gone. Team 2 just has holes on the front lines for both sides. We have another GC inbound going for this base in the middle. Looks like it's the main production facility for SA. That's going to be wiped out. And not a good day. We have Strap Bombers inbound also from Leverage. We have one of them, I guess. He just built up maybe a couple of them and called it a day. Tons and tons and tons of gunships online for Team 2. Now GC not wiping the T3 land headquarters. Probably a oversight there. Wipe that out immediately. Prevents the construction of more Perseus and whatnot. Gunships not going in. I'm kind of surprised by this, that the gunships for both Death by Succubus and Buttons are not trying to protect that T3 land headquarters. They might be busy doing other things and they don't see it. There's the ones from Death by Succubus. He probably heard me. And it looks like Buttons are moving in as well. Still, the T3 land headquarters actually taking more damage from the bomber from Team 2's teammate of Leverage than it is from the actual GC that's sitting right there. Why are they not? What is going on? They're not intercepting that GC. I have no idea what's going on with that. Whalers are inbound. Again, they have AA weapons, and not like they're entirely defenses. SMD is down. Yeah, definitely a lot of things that could have easily been prevented in terms of death. And the T3 land headquarters probably will not. Oh, it might survive. Fat Boy. Yep, there goes the two facilities there, but the headquarters still survives. So that's something, but SMD being wiped out, that's not good. That SMD for Team 1's northern Nuke is now loaded, which means that Nuke will be protected. The Nuke for Team 2 should be fine. It is underneath SMD coverage, or actually near at least. Tons of gunships inbound. Again, there's Whalers and there's Broadsword. The best, not the best mix. We haven't all three been the exact best mix, but hey, 2 out of the 3 is pretty good. They are inbound. ASFs are going to have to target the Whalers and the gunships. They just have to. Inbound ASFs from Blue Shirt Guy. Overshot the ASFs. Where are they going? The Whalers and the Broadswords are being wiped out. Ooh, that is a... I mean... yeah, not great. They're not... Oh, where are they going? Oh, yeah, not great. T3 mexes not being wiped out. Whalers and Broadswords essentially all gone. Oof, that was... Yeah, not great. They could have easily wiped out the remaining ASFs for Team 1. Even if you lost most of them, the gunships would have survived and more of that air grid would have been wiped out. Ooh, yeah, not great. Nomander providing some tips about you need infinite flak and then you'll win. Oof, that was not good in terms of death of gunships. Nuke online for Team 1's more easternish player for everywhere. Is it? It is loaded, so we have 2 nukes loaded or just 1? Oh, we're about to have 2 nukes loaded. It's about to fire too. There goes the nuke. Where is this one going?
Strategic launch detected.
And it's going eastward. It is going to get shot down by this SMD, so there's that. I feel like other options would have been... you could have maybe wiped out this one. Wiped out some... You actually could have wiped out the defenses maybe, and then that would have allowed the land forces to move in a little bit easier. But that nuke's going to get shot down, so I'm just not going to worry about it. We have a Fat Boy pushing all alone. No support, no AA, no building units on board, no nothing. And there's even a Rambo column right there. Another nuke outbound from Team 1. Where is it going? This one is going for the defenses. That's going to wipe out a huge amount of firepower, and then Team 1 doesn't have to worry about it. I think the mismanagement of the gunships might be Might be team. I don't say Team 2's undoing, but I just don't think they have a whole lot. They're trying to counter air with air, and that kind of does work. But Team 1 switched it up to land production. And now Team 2 has to do the same thing. Cologne wipes out a huge ton of Ravagers, shields, all that stuff. And that's going to open the door for the land forces to push in. And explosion in the east. The base for blue shirt guy is defeated by... Sorry, death by second base is defeated by blue shirt guy. And on the western side, SA control Ks. That's going to be now 2 players left for Team 2. It's a 3v2 in favor for Team 1. And that's going to be a nice kill for Team 1. And that's the death of the air grid for now. Well, it looks like Buttons. He still has this air grid down here. But he's going to build some artilleries here soon. Don't know if that'll be worth it. We'll see if blue shirt guy teleports out of there. Team 2 doesn't have any gunships to speak of, so looks like he's actually going to be fine. And even sends him some ASFs just to say, hey, strap bomber inbound. It will get shot down, but not after deploying a bomb, or dropping a bomb at least. Airfighters 1. Gunships are inbound. I don't think he's going to make it home. Nope. There he goes. And gunships are inbound for that SMD, I would assume. Oh, are they going to go for Buttons as comm? Looks like they're going to go for Buttons as comm. I feel like that's a missed opportunity. Just go for the SMD. And there's that. Now it's a 2v2 tied-up game. Once again, we have Team 1 and Team 2 at same amount of eco, 1.3k. Map control in favor for Team 1. But I don't know. It depends on how the land forces go. There's some AA in the mix, but there's a ton of gunships inbound from Buttons. Of course, there's the 4-5 crabs on the western front. The fat boy has to fall back. It's going to get sandwiched between the crabs and the harbingers and the whatnot. And again, target the AA, then target everything else. That way you don't have to deal with anything shooting at you. Looks like Buttons has done that. The land forces do wipe out the headquarters that SA had, but of course Team 2, you would assume, has another one, but I guess not. Western front for leverage still being rebuilt. And Monkey Lord, probably should have pulling that back, but it does allow for the gunships to eradicate all of the support over here. Looks like the gunships are now going to target this. There's not really any AA on board the megaliths, so it's going to be a huge win for Team 2. There's probably going to be at least 2 to 3 crab wrecks. ASFs are inbound from Team 1. Not that many, though, from Dead 6. Nuke is outbound from somebody. Team 1 launches another nuke at Buttons' SMD. It's still there. And looks like one of the crabs is about to bite the dust. The second one going to follow right after it. We still have constant ASFs pouring in to slowly whittle away the gunship numbers. Team 2 not sending the ASFs in to protect the gunships before they even make it. There they go. Looks like he heard me through the ether or something. And target the weaker crabs first. You can target the AA. There's not a whole lot of AA. I do understand that. Eastern front, though, huge columns of forces. Looks like it's a lot of Team 1 Sky Slammer spam, as well as a couple of the GCs. There are Ravagers being rebuilt and multiplied and the whatnot. Third crab is down. Fourth crab is about to fall, and fifth crab is about to fall. There's a lot of recon to be had on this western front, and it looks like maybe Team 2 is going to be able to grab it. Looks like they actually ignore it. They're going for the bouncers. That's actually probably a good idea. That way they wipe out all of that firepower shooting at them. There is an SACU mixed in there. It's building some T2 flat cannons, and they wipe out the fifth and final crab. That is so much mass on the field on that western front. 450,000 total on the maps. Tons of reclaim. Eastern front, GC's pushing in. Again, columns of Ravagers have been built in the interim, and there are some SACU presets running around. There's the shield ones, 52,000 hit points on board those things. First GC is down. They wiped out the first line of Ravagers. Second line is the target. And I don't think it's gonna work. Artillery coming online. This one's almost done for buttons. And those gunships are back home. And there goes that GC. Second one is down, and they're gonna rip apart the remaining units. Another column of units inbound from everywhere, and he has his nuke. That's now reloaded. The nuke now is not loaded yet in the middle. Another explosion happens somewhere. Another SSU dies. Are those missiles raining in? Yeah, those are missiles raining in. Look at that. Looks like they were targeting that SECU just sitting there. And now Eastern Front is going to get stopped maybe once again. There's, again, the gunships are already here. Gunships might need to worry about the nukes, though. Team 1 launches a nuke on this position. This is the front. Why are you building why is that satellite there? Why are you building it there? Nuke is online, though, for Team 2's leverage, and he's loading it as we speak. Gunships targeting all of the AA first, of course. And I think the Colossus might just need to go home. There's one Ravager in range. There's still more flak constantly pouring in from Team 1. And there goes the nuke. Kaboom! Wipes out 4 mexes. Hey, the satellite survives somehow. But it's not done yet, so it's, you know, the engineers died, but the actual site itself is fine. Tons of damage being riddled? Whatever. Words are hard onto those gunships. And those GCs are going to just push it, because why not? Ravagers wiping out thousands of hit points per second. I think the target is going to be that that SMD. Maybe. If they could wipe that out, then they'd wipe out everything down here. That nuke now has a shield, has 3 nukes loaded, has not fired a single nuke yet. He wants to be very efficient with that nuke, I guess, and not waste any of them. And there goes another Colossus. Fat Boys are inbound, trying to secure the reclaim field for Team 2 on the western front. Their buttons is. And looks like there's just bricks holding position. Those aren't going to do that much damage, though, if they just sit there and do nothing. And gunships are inbound to deal with the Fat Boys. More air grid. Scathis has been started. It's actually almost in the green, so Team 1 at almost 75% done for a Scathis. T3 artillery raining in now from buttons. Looks like it's going for the air grid. I don't know if they know about the Scathis or not, but there's also some eyes over top getting a readout what Team 1's up to up there. Yeah, one. There's an SMD there. It's 4 loaded. Is there a backup one? There is a backup one there. So there's 4 SMDs loaded. 4 SMD missiles loaded in each SMD. More shields are coming online to protect the Scathis. And reclaim efforts are coming online. Getting more PGens and mass fabs and all the whatnot. Second artillery is almost done. That's number 2. Number 3 already started. We have missiles also raining in for dumb strange reason. I don't know where they're going or why they're going. Looks like they're going after units, I guess, but that's not really needed because the Fat Boys are right there. They wiped out that entire column of bricks and we're just stationed there hanging out. That's kind of unfortunate. There's engineers here. Looks like they're building some AA. Definitely need to build some T1 not lab spams, but engineer spam facilities to scoop up the reclaim. Some of the PGens have taken some damage. Shields are being multiplied as we speak. And now with that second artillery online, Nuke is online and loaded and fired once again for Team 1. Still the same position. They really just hate that SMD. But there's more SMDs built in the interim. There's one there, one there, one there, and one there. And, well, that one's almost loaded, and that one is half loaded. So Team 2 has backups. I don't like where the backups are. I don't like they're all in one place. And they're not shielded, but hey, at least they have backup. 4th nuke is loaded. Please fire your nukes if you can. I do understand wanting to use them as effectively as possible and not wanting them to go to waste. But at some point, you got to fire it at something. I mean, even over here would be nice. Salvation has been started. You would wipe this out. There's no SMD over here. There is an SMD over there. So all of them are loaded besides the one in Everywhere's base, which doesn't have an SMD. ASF's inbound to fight. That's going to be interesting. We'll see how that fight happens. I think Team 2 is going to win that fight. Another SACU explosion in the middle. Looks like it belongs to Team 1. And how's the artillery doing? Well, the Scathis is almost done. It's still being worked on. Artillery slowly whittling away the shield capacity, though, for Team 1. That's not good. Third artillery piece is in the green already, so looks like 3 T3 artillery pieces are going to finish before the Scathis does for Team 1. That might be enough. If the Salvation comes online, however, that will be the end of the everything for Team 2. Nuke for leverage is almost done loading. Again, 4, just so many nukes loaded, not firing for Team 1. I don't know if Team 2 knows about the Scathis. Oh, they know about it, so that's what they're targeting. Once the third one comes online, that might be enough. We have broadswords in the middle causing a ruckus. You could wipe out the nuke, you could wipe out SMDs, you could wipe out a whole bunch of stuff. It looks like that might be the target. It might be just launch nukes and call it a day kind of thing. Strat's going to be wiped out by gunships? Nope, not targeted by gunships. Guess they can't target the... Guess they can't target them on the ground, I guess. And this base here don't belong in originally. No Mander. All the SMD. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, you're going to go for the Scathis, I guess. It's a roundabout way of going for the Scathis. You could have at least wiped out an SMD. Like, kept just a couple of them back to wipe them out. But Scathis is going to be denied, essentially, either by the artillery or by the gunships. But looks like the artillery does it in. And the air grid's going to be wiped out. And that will be it for the air for Team 1, at least for the western side. Eastern front has a small air grid, but nothing like the western one. That's his talking about how it always goes to artillery. I mean, I don't know if he started the Scathis first, but, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Nuke is... Oh, please tell me you're just loading 5 just to have 5 and you launch all 5. And gunships, maybe going to target an SMD. Is that the second one? That's the first one. Now, there's still gunships over here to the north. Are going to target anything in this base? No. Yeah, they're like pointing out the nuke. No. Looks like those ones are going to go back. That's good. Target the SMD. That'd be the bigger target to take out. Explosion happens to the west. Dead 6 can actually just control Ks, leaving everywhere as the last remaining player for Team 1.
Strategic launch
Nuke detected. Is outbound. There's the nuke finally. That took forever to launch. No, don't tell me you built 5 and then... No, you didn't build. What? No, that's Leverage's nuke.
Strategic launch
and there's 5. Essentially, he loaded 5. That's just insane that he waited that long. But at this point, there's really nothing left for Team 1 to fight back with. There is a real good chance of Team 1 winning this game, but I think once all the momentum fell out from all of the other players' death, I think that's kind of where Team 1 kind of flattened out. I think the land attacks, that definitely kind of ate away all of Team 1's momentum.
detected.
Another nuke outbound. And it's just going to be nuke central at this point. And Team 1 has adequate SMD protection. Like, they've been stacking SMDs for a while now.
Strategic launch detected.
But I think they may have... No, it doesn't look like they're going to target... Oh, they're just going to nuke it again? There's nothing there! Oh, that's unfortunate. That's a waste of a nuke. 4 artillery pieces online for Team 2, looks like. And they're targeting the comms position.
Strategic launch
And
detected.
looks like the nuke is going to land right on top of them. And there goes the Control K. I know that is a kill for Buttons, and that is the game here, folks. 59 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock. Team 2 wins the game. MVP, I mean, Buttons did survive, essentially, not the longest, but him and Leverage did survive the longest for Team 2. The artillery wiping out the Scathis definitely was good, but of course we did see the gunships come in for him as well, so if it wasn't for the artillery, it would have been for the gunships. So yeah, he did like that he have a backup plan. That was nice. I don't like the fact that he didn't wipe out the nuke the first time he had it. The chance to. I mean, he could just get the couple of gunships like he did earlier and just wipe everything else out. Even if it was just the SMD, you can launch the nuke, wipe everything out, call it a day. Like, that would have been a little bit more efficient. But he did it nonetheless. I do think the land attacks think the second and the third one over here definitely could have been weighted and combined into one and pushed all together. The Western Front, I mean, they pushed and then they fell back and they lost all 5 crabs, and I think that was the defining, okay, I think we lost game or move kind of thing for Team 1. But let me know down in the comments what you thought. Thank you so much for watching to the very end of the video as always, and I will see all of you in the next one.